Thank you for joining us on our first JFT Coffee Break webinar series. I expect that we'll have more joining as we start. People are probably figuring out how to work Zoom and how to log in. Let's go ahead and get going. I know that there's the people joining in have important projects to run to, so let's go ahead and get started. So I see people coming in. I recognize some of these names. I recognize some customers here. I recognize some partners here. So thanks for coming in and joining in with us. Appreciate you guys taking some time and learning about our product today. So for those of you that I do not know, and that this is the first time that I'm meeting you virtually, my name is Scott Adams. I'm the CEO of James Fisher Technology. We are a pragmatic technology company based out of Colorado in the US. So today I'm going to be joined with two individuals. We're still waiting for one to get out of one of his other meetings. So he'll be coming in shortly, but I'll be joined with Mike Shea. So Mike, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. So Mike Shea is with Middlesex. He's up working hard in Boston on the Green Line Extension project. So Mike will be chiming in later on in the discussion. Just by way of introductions, what we're hoping to do with this webinar series is just take a couple minutes and give you guys, the guys that are making projects run across the US, just a little bit of information about some safety systems and productivity systems that are available. So we hope by the end of this series, you guys have some more information and some more tools that you're able to deploy onto your project sites. So today we're going to be focused on our Prolex safety system. So this is our system that we install onto excavator hydraulic systems that allow, with our sensors and with our control system, allow operators to very intuitively set virtual walls or virtual ceilings or virtual floors that allow them to work confidently as they're working on these large complex projects, to know that they are protected against hitting a hazard, whether that hazard is a utility, or if that hazard is an overhead power line, or oncoming traffic, or next to rail, those types of systems. We're going to be talking about that system today, and how that system is being deployed across the US. So I guess with no further ado, Mike, you're up there in Boston. I think it's been about a year since we first had our first chat up there in Boston. How are you coming along with your deployment of these systems up there? How are these systems working on your project?
Well, it's helped us tremendously with working time, working alongside light rail. It's commuter rail and commercial freight. So with each work crew along the 5-mile zone, we have flagmen, EICs that are with each group, and it has allowed us to work much longer.
Yeah.
Before and after the trains leave the zone. And the EICs just feel, once they get to know the system, they just feel more comfortable with knowing that the machine can't swing into that zone with a bucket if there was a malfunction or the operator were to have a medical issue or anything of that nature.
Yeah, that's good. And I guess as we're going through this, one thing I forgot to mention is if you guys have any questions, just there's a Q&A tab down in the middle of your screen. Just pop those questions into that Q&A icon. Mark Slauson is going to be, which many of you guys know, is going to be tracking those questions and then just popping them in and asking the panelists these questions as we go along. So just so you know that is available. So Mike, with that, I guess, would you say, you know, oftentimes these systems are viewed as, I guess, primarily safety, but would you say that it's helped you guys from a productivity standpoint?
Yes. Yes. Yep. Yeah, because we're getting more working time with the machine and the crews working next to rail. So yes, the crew and machine is able to work longer and go to work sooner in the morning, because sometimes we can't start work here till 9:30, and sometimes the EIC has the call to be able to let us start earlier in a certain zone.
Cool. How have the operators come along as far as the use of the system? Have they been able to, I guess, has it been intuitive for them, or how have they come along as far as being trained on the system?
Well, the original operators that were on the machines when they got installed are still on the machine. So
great.
We're still on the same project, and we will be for another year and a half. So we haven't reached that point where we've had to pull machines off a job and go to different jobs and different sites. Fortunately, right now, the operators are on the machines that have been on the machines.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that we've done since we installed those systems on your machines, I guess last summer, is we've come up with this quick start guide that we found has been very helpful for our customers, and has made it so new operators are able to come up to speed a little bit more quickly on the system. But obviously, Mike, if you're taking this to other jobs in the future, we would fully support you with new training and getting your operators up to speed there as well.
Okay.
Well, cool. I think I saw Blair join in. Blair, are you able to hear me? Let's see. I think Blair is muted. Blair, are you or Tom? Are you able to unmute Blair?
How about now?
Hey, there we go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Blair, nice to hear you. Thanks for joining in with us. So we've got a group of folks in the construction industry that are listening in, just listening to different experiences with this Prolex safety system. I don't know if you heard Mike. Mike just chatted through his experience up in Boston on the Green Line project. Now you're working down in Florida on that second phase of that large rail project down in South Florida. How's the process? I think you're just getting started on this process and just starting this journey. How's it going for you down in Florida?
It's going good. Yeah, we just barely got rolling here, late November. So we're just rolling out these two new machines. We installed this system on two of our machines. So we expect to see great things and great benefits from it in its capacity to limit the swing radius and give us a lot better protection, and it gives confidence in the the railroad in us as well. So
yeah. I think Mike had mentioned something about from the flaggers or the EITs just being this is almost a tool for them to be confident that these systems will protect the safety of the public. Are you seeing a similar situation down there in Florida?
I don't work with these groups every day, but I mean, the foremen feel like, you know, the limits are set properly and the heights, you know, all these things are adjusted correctly and set up properly from the get-go, that everybody feels a higher level of confidence for sure.
Good. All right. So the systems we have, Blair, what excavators do we have your systems installed on?
We have them on the Komatsu 238s.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And I think, Mike, is it, you're running cats up in Boston, aren't you?
Yes, we have a bunch of 335s on this job, zero tail swing equipment, and that's what ours are mounted on.
Yeah, and I believe that's the equivalent in the Komatsu, isn't it?
Yes.
That 238 is the zero tail swing as well, so I think that's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, when we met initially, Mike, you were looking at all the different options available, and with that zero swing cat, there was no other options for a safety system, and that's kind of been a common thing as we've been going through these discussions with customers, has been that you know, they're just not familiar that these systems are available out there. And the advantage with or the ability that we have just to simply throw it on any type of excavator has often been something that's been an advantage for some of our customers. Mark, do we have any questions coming in? Oh, Mark, you're on mute.
Yep, here we go. All right, we got a few. You kind of alluded to this one, Scott, but we had a question, what type of machines can this be installed on?
Okay. Yeah. So I don't have the full list of machines we have installed on, but it's a huge list. It's like a 15,000 line sheet that shows all the different types of machines we've installed this on in the past. But basically any type of excavator that is above a mini class excavator, so 6 ton or larger, we can install on, and any type of brand or make or model. So very agnostic to the model and the machine. If we get into the smaller machines, it's just a matter of just fitting in, you know, having to fit in, you know, our hydraulics and control system into a smaller space. So I think the way our technicians described it is they get grumpier if it gets into the smaller than 6 ton machines. So we try to stay above 6 tons.
Perfect. I got another one here. Is there a way to know if the operator is using the system?
Yeah. So that's a good question. That's kind of we're going to talk about that in the next couple weeks with our IoT capability, where we're able to. There's a couple different ways that that can be shared. With our IoT capability, we're able to feed in information into a network. That network can then be seen live by supervisors and foremen of how much the system has been used, when it's been used, when these walls have been set up, and are they being used real time. Another potential, which this is something that I think I saw Jerry join in. Jerry had asked me with the Hensel Phelps guys, you know, is it possible for a foreman actually on the site able to see if the systems are turned on? And what we have is very similar to like the crane crash detection systems. Is just a light system that shows that if the wall is turned on the excavator that we can mount onto the excavator and just show as an indicator for the site foremans.
Good deal. I got another one here, Scott. And the question is, you mentioned rail corridors as one place to use them. What are the other applications?
Yeah, that's right. So Mike and Blair are both in the rail industry, and we've definitely seen a lot of interest in that industry with that very obvious hazard of the train. But other applications, you can quickly imagine that working next to a highway is very similar to rail. Working under power lines is a very clear application where we can just simply set a ceiling and the operator can work through the day just with that ceiling set. Also, utility strikes, we're able to set floors. So when a operator is working in an area where there's a lot of utilities, then that's a very clear application of this system, and it just ensures that he doesn't hit those things that he's set on the system.
Good deal. Another one. So how long does it take to put a system on?
Okay, yeah, good question. It is dependent on the system that we're putting on, as well as the machine. But our installations are typically three to 5 days for the system. Our technicians, Ben's getting better with every installation, so that time is getting cut down with each installation. But that's what we're seeing right now is about a 3 to 5 day install.
All right, they keep rolling in. All right, does this system require GPS to work?
Yeah, so good question. And again, that's almost a leading question into our discussions later on in this series. The standard system that we use does not require GPS. It's all operator centric. So the operator is able to set these walls. The operator is able to set these ceilings and floors without the requirement of full-blown GPS on the system. However, we do offer a system called our PMX system that works in concert with GPS, and that then pulls in the GPS information, ports it in with our control of the hydraulics and our control system, and with that, you're able to set the hazards independent of the operator. Can be set by an engineering team or a survey team, and then they can work on a job site with those job specific hazards already programmed into the excavator. So a couple different options there.
All right, let's see. Is it a warning?
I just want to make sure we are coming up on our 20-minute target as far as making sure that we're being conscious of people's time. So we're going to stay on for a couple minutes, just going through any other questions that come in. But I just want to make sure people feel free that they can drop off. And Blair and Mike, if you have to drop off, feel free to drop off. I know that you guys have important projects that you're running, so don't feel like you need to stay on. But we'll stay on for a couple more minutes answering questions as they pop in.
All right.
All right. You were talking about utilities, and we've run across that on this job because we're doing a rail job, but it's in the city.
Okay.
And we're working around homes and businesses and doing tie-ins up streets. And the operators have used the system quite a lot around big, heavy utilities and buildings. So it has been useful away from the rail for us as well.
Yeah, you guys are in a very congested area up there, so it's just asking for use in that type of environment, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the some of the overhead utility around here it's not 13.6 off the road
Right.
at all.
Right.
And so we have a lot of tight parameters up here working within a city limit. And we're basically, if people don't know where Somerville is, we're basically the next town north of downtown Boston. So it's just a big city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Thanks for popping that in.
All right.
And then,
Oh, go ahead.
if
Go ahead,
there's
Mike.
nothing else, if there's no other questions or anything, I will go off unless there's anything else.
Mark, do we have any other questions specifically for Mike?
No, none specifically for Mike. We've got a few more, but yeah, he's definitely good to go.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining in,
Okay.
Mike. I really do appreciate it.
I might listen to the ones that you're going to read right now, and then I'll be off. Thank
All
you.
right. Cool.
Okay. The next question is it a warning system or is it a hard stop?
Yeah. So yeah, good question. So on the since we go in and pipe in directly onto the hydraulics of the excavator, that's really what is the enabling factor there. We are able to really actually stop the excavator to ensure that it doesn't encroach into the hazard. So yeah, it is a hard stop. It's not just a warning system.
Cool. And then actually just one more here that I have. Can our company do the installations themselves?
Yeah, we do get that question often with our, I guess, more companies that we work with that have hydraulic techs that really know how to work on these systems. You know, they've got guys that are very talented at working on excavators. We're more than happy to work with them to enable them to do installs. With our dealers, we're more than willing to help dealers figure out how to do these installs. We're very flexible on that end. But this is a safety system, so we do recommend us coming in and doing a calibration of the unit just to make sure everything is done correctly. Yeah, we've got some really smart customers out there that know how to deal with equipment, and we're happy to work with them on the installation front to make sure that we're doing it the right way.
Cool. That's all I got as far as the questions go, Scott.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're just 4 minutes over our 20-minute allotment. So thanks again, everybody, for joining. Yeah, again, I see Mike and Blair are popped off, but we really do appreciate them coming in and just joining into the conversation. We are having another session next week. So next week, we're gonna, Tom's bringing in some video. We'll see what it looks like from the operator's view, what it's like to run these systems, and give you an opportunity to, you know, really, as much as we can right now, get your hands on this system and see what the system is like. So tomorrow or next week, it'll be the same time, Thursday, 11 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Mountain, for episode 2 in our coffee break webinar series. So with that, thank you, and have a good afternoon.